Are you guys all caught up on Ready to Love? Do we know what's going to happen after that last cliffhanger they left us with? Is Kyra going home or is she staying? Let's find out now. Stay tuned. Hi there, Simply Subbies. Welcome back to the Simply Stacey YouTube channel. It's your girl Stacey, and we are ready for another installment of Ready to Love on the OWN Network. We're at season 4. We're on episode number 11. It is called Unfinished Business, and I cannot wait to get into it. Let's do a quick recap. If you guys remember, last week we were left at a cliffhanger. So they were all at the ranch, the last 9 contestants, and Jason had picked Liz as his one and only. And then AJ still had a toss-up between Alexis and Kyra. He actually said to Kyra, you are not ready to love. This is going to be your last night. But then they play clips and previews from this week, and we see Kyra there talking about she got some unfinished business with Jason. So I'm so confused. I don't know if she's going home or if she is not. But we're back. My top couples again. Well, my number one all-time top couple since day one has been Joelle and Vernicia. And then I guess Chris and Amber seem to have worked things out. So that is couple number 2. Liz and Jason, I honestly still don't see it, but apparently they've picked one another. And then AJ seeming like he picked Alexis. I really don't see that either. I really do see him more so with Kyra. But let's get into it, guys. Really quickly before I press play, as you guys can see, I am wearing some Simply merch. This is the Simply Black by popular demand. Today is June 19th. It is Juneteenth. That is a new federal holiday. And what better way to celebrate than this? If you want to purchase a shirt like this, mugs, it comes in t-shirts, also different colors of the sweatshirt. And yeah, we also have it in a mug form. This is the Simply by Definition mug. And they're all available at the Simply store. That is staceyhuddleston.com/shop. And that link will be in the description box below. Okay, let's get into Ready to Love.
Can't be no more finished traveling. This is your last day in this process. You're not ready to love.
Okay. Come on.
This is really tough, though. I'm really torn because Alexis is amazing. But me having this opportunity this second time around with Kyra, I don't want this to be the end of me trying to figure out, can this work or not?
I had a feeling that it was coming, but I still was going to stay true to myself. And I was not going to force myself to make a decision that I was not totally ready to make. I'm only choosing one husband. And if I'm only going to be in a committed relationship with somebody, I'm going to be cautious and take my time with making that decision. When I pick that person, I'm not going back to anybody else.
Stop. Slow down.
Mm-hmm. So?
Slow down. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's only 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them I've already, it's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason has made his choice, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about mine. Do you want to be here with me?
Yes, I do.
I don't want to see you go. I don't. Well, I changed my mind.
Wait, what? I was really
What?
taken back because I had not at one point chosen AJ. He didn't have nothing to stand on. Even in that moment, I wasn't saying, AJ, I choose you. But he was still willing to say, yo, I see what we could be. I see something in you, and I'm not ready to close that door. And the fact that he did that to me spoke volumes. Can I ask you why?
Why? Sitting here holding your hand. I don't want it to be the last time I hold it. I've waited 4 years for a second date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to throw that relationship.
I'm there with you.
I really want to see where this goes. Can I do that with you?
I would like to do that too, AJ.
All right. Now can I have love?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we have to unpack We are in the first few minutes of the show. They started back where they left off, and it is Kyra and AJ sitting by a campfire outside when he's telling her, you're not ready to love, you about to go home. He said that all over again, and he wouldn't let her hand go. She's like, can you please let my hand go? And he was like, I don't want to. I don't want this to be the last time I hold your hand. And basically what Kyra was saying is I felt like this could be coming because I was not going to settle. It's not like I'm going to choose two of you guys to my husband, but I want to make the best decision so that when I pick, I'm sure and I'm not thinking about the other person. I'm not trying to go back. And so I guess he kind of respected that. And he also asked her like, okay, so I really want to kind of see where this goes with us, or do you want to be here with me? And she says yes. Now, they do cut away to her confessional. She's like, in that moment, I said yes. I was not telling AJ, yes, I pick you still. Even in that moment, I was just saying, I want to stick around and see what we can be. Even though I know Jason has picked Liz, and I know the other guys are settled in on who they have chosen as well. I think she still really does like AJ, but I still think she really does like Jason as well. So AJ said, I changed my mind. I'm like, wait, what? Is that a thing? Mind freaking blown. Now you got to go and break up with Alexis, who actually was supposed to stay. This is so crazy. So Kyra is going to stick around. And she said that just made her think more about him too. Like, I didn't even choose you still, and you still decided you wanted to choose me and switch your decision. And so they're happy and whatnot. But this right here, I ain't never seen this happen. I'm just gonna change my mind right here in front of you after I just eliminated you. Crazy. But basically, remember, they had this chemistry, they had this bond, they met in real life, they went on a date 4 years ago. I thought it was about 2 years ago, but it was 4 years ago. He like, I've waited 4 years for a second date, and he still likes whatever he probably liked initially. He just wasn't prepared or ready to be dating her back then. He had the funds, apparently. His car got declined. But so whatever the reason was, but he's been trying to make it up to her. He still really likes her. And what I will respect about him, even though he did go ahead and eliminate her first, like if he wouldn't have done that, like not making her choose, because really those guys really hadn't chosen before now either. And so they wanted her to choose when they hadn't really chose. Like Jason, he went with Liz only because Kyra had not chose him yet. And AJ technically was going for Alexis only because Kyra had not chose him yet. But he changed it up. And guys, let's see how the rest of this unfolds.
I don't even know how to put in words because 1 second I'm gone and then now this man is like, I changed my mind. I was like, can I kiss you right now? I was on cloud nine.
So ultimately, I changed my mind. And it was a bittersweet moment because I knew me giving Kyra more time meant that Alexis's time was ending.
So I wonder how Alexis is going to feel once she finds out how it all went down. Like he had chose you, girl, and then he cut that and chose somebody else. Jeez, la freaking wheeze. AJ about to sit down with Alexis. Lord have a mercy.
Reached out to me to meet him by the pool, and I had to accept the fact that he might not choose me. I'm nervous, I'm afraid, I'm a lot of different emotions all at one time.
You got me nervous. What is going on?
What you mean I got you nervous? Man, look, you already know, in every step of this, I've always just kept it straightforward with you. I don't want that to ever change.
I'm about to cry.
Don't cry, man.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, Lord, there go that hand. Ooh, charm school. Okay.
That's how he gets me. He takes me from 10, brings me down to 0.
I think that me and you will be in each other's lives for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And I'm smiling because I'm thinking, oh, man, he about to say, girl, you the one. I just knew he was getting ready to tell me that.
But I don't know if I can be truly what it is that you see. So, we all knew that somebody was going to have to leave when it came to the end of this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, Alexis.
It's you.
That's going to be you.
It's okay.
I'm not ready to love.
It's messed up to me because I chose you. I told you that I chose you. I just got backstabbed by the person that I genuinely like. I'm ready. Just how with you.
If you knew how extremely difficult this has been,
Okay.
and even sitting here talking to you, I'm not walking in shorty at all.
No hard feelings. But I appreciate our time together, and this has been a wonderful experience for me. It's taught me a lot about myself. This experience reminded me if I continue to seek God and His righteousness, then all these things that I ask of Him will come to pass. So I wish you the best in your future. We did.
Don't be ashamed.
I'm out here, child. Get to my baby. It's painful. But it just means that I'm not yet ready to receive what it is that I'm requesting. And it was a reminder to me, Alexis, to love yourself more. Once I see myself the way that God sees me, then He will release the mantle.
That's a word, girl. That's a word. Okay, guys. So that was a little hard to watch, but what I guess AJ realized in the moment is like when he was with Kyra, he couldn't watch her leave. He didn't want to see his life without her in it. Alexis, although he really likes her and he's connected to her, apparently he can see his life without her. He says that they will always probably be in one another's lives, but just in a different capacity. And she was really upset, feeling like she got backstabbed. Now, mind you, I do not agree with that one bit, because she's like, I chose you. But just because you choose somebody does not mean they choose you. They do have to choose you back. And so just because you decided to choose him didn't mean he had to choose you. I do feel sorry for her. She says, God is still going to give her what her heart desires. She must just not be ready to receive it in this moment. She needs to continue to work on herself. She's learned a lot. She needs to love herself more, which I agree, because a lot of the things that she said in the entire season, always harping on him, if I'm somebody's number one, or only going around because he chose her, and all this stuff definitely shows a little bit of insecurities, which we all have insecurities. So definitely no knock on Alexis for that. She's going to go home to her child, which is very important. And I appreciate them not stringing people along, especially when they have kids at home to get back to, because if this isn't going to be anything, don't just waste my time. And so she is going home, and AJ is sticking it out with Kyra. Wow. Okay, guys, they are back in Houston, no longer at the ranch. And here's Vernicia. I think, it's the ladies. It looks like it's the ladies back at the ladies' lounge. Now, Amber got on a prom dress and some. Okay, Kyra dress is cute. Liz is looking crazy like Kyra's still here.
Why? Because I know
because she knows that Jason picked her.
I'm a little bit confused.
She thought AJ was picking Alexis.
How y'all doing?
Alexis is not there. It's 4 ladies. You got Amber, Liz, Vernicia, and Kyra.
Real big presence in this room today. Unfortunately, Alexis' time came to an end. So I know some of y'all was real close. But let's remember this. Alexis may not have found her love here, but I am certain that she's going to find it sooner or later. This week, I'm sending you on your last one-on-one date. I want you to spend some intimate time together. Hold their hand, look into the eye, baby. Maybe even a kiss or two. You know something about kissing?
I'm talking to Amber because she been kissing a minute. She been kissing everybody. The baby was at Vernicia and the kissing was at Amber.
The idea of being in a relationship. And transition into the action of being a couple. There's a difference between the two. Feel it out. Discuss the future. Trust your female intuition. Y'all all have it. Most importantly, listen to your heart. Because at the end of this week, we're going to meet again. Find out if one of the remaining men just isn't ready to love. We got some more work to do. I'll see y'all soon, right? All right.
Be safe out there.
Hey, Julia, I'll tell you what you ain't gonna do, Julia.
Not with Bernice. I don't know if y'all know, I had a conversation with AJ, you know, at the ranch before we left. I said that I did not want to yo-yo with anybody that I was dealing with in this process. He respected that. He said, with that, I'm changing my mind and I don't want you to go home.
Wow. So you still don't have a decision?
I'm going to see how these, you know, dates go. I feel awkward because I do want to obviously pursue my connection with AJ, but I have some unfinished business with Jason. Jason, from what I'm assuming, chose Lisbon if it came down to AJ choosing me or sending me home. So that's the conversation I'm interested to have with Jason, because when we ended our date at the ranch, that's not really how it was positioned to me.
So he never told you that he was choosing Liz?
No.
But you're still interested in both these guys?
Jason and I had a real strong connection. Does that connection go away overnight? No, it doesn't, because it was genuine.
Don't make it seem like I was the second pick. This man had 2 top connections, and he picked me. It is what it is. And I didn't like how she tried to make that seem.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, pause. So Liz she taking offense because Kyra said, you know, I feel some kind of way. I got unfinished business with Jason. I would like to have a discussion with him about him choosing Liz, because when we ended our last date, that's not how it was positioned to me that he was choosing her. Like, he never told me that, and feelings don't go away overnight. Then Liz come out of nowhere talking about, well, I don't like how she picked that, like I'm the second choice. Nobody said she said you were second choice. She's just saying he wasn't man enough in that moment to tell her who he chose. He never had that conversation with her. She heard it from AJ and not from Jason. Liz, calm down. He chose you. So you was his number one in that moment. He chose you, not number 2. So stop putting it out there like Kyra is trying to, you know, say something that is not. She just saying him choose you over me. That's it. Which I think she don't need to do that either. And the fact that AJ saved you, girl, leave Jason alone, because he didn't waste his time on you and you still might not pick him in the end. And Amber, like, so you still into both of these people? She's like, that just doesn't go away, which is honest. She still was liking both of them yesterday. So today it doesn't just switch on to just AJ by himself. Whew. However, in the process, that's how it should be. She should only be going on dates with AJ from here on out, because Jason did not choose you. Liz said they solid, so she ain't got no problems. Although her confessional speaks differently. Yes. Oh, we gonna see. They look like they're in a residential neighborhood.
About going to Venetia's.
Joelle is going over to Venetia's.
Well, you gotta understand, we was able to overcome a little hump at the ranch. I need to go ahead and let them know how I feel, right?
Oh, she burning a candle.
This date is so
Oh, that chandelier,
significant
girl.
because coming from the trip and everything that we had gone through.
My apology wasn't simple because you don't think it really was. I am sorry.
Bernicia, 39. She is a salon owner.
And a glass of wine. He could have easily been done.
Her place is really cute and glamorous.
Got me over here feeling OG. Cup of wine, plate of food. Walk around that sweat dress.
I'm feeling excited about spending some, you know, more intimate time together. He can see a softer side of me. I'm not always aggressive.
In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Amen. It's still
Love a
going
man
with-
that can say
To be
grace.
honest,
Oh,
Smell
be
good. I would say
cool.
grace.
Pray on the spot. Yes. Like they having
This
breakfast.
nigga ain't gonna lie.
what you think about our little getaway?
I think it was cool. What you think about it?
I don't know, it just gave me clarity, I feel like, on us, that we can overcome something if we need to.
I agree with you. I understand that we both have our ways of seeing things. But the common goal is the only thing that really matters, you feel me?
I agree.
Yeah. I like the fact that the energy was not where it was before we was able to overcome our little misunderstanding. I got the vibe that she was done with it too. And I heard you chose me. Is that true?
Even after a little mishap.
Yeah.
I've never not chose you.
Never.
Who you chose afterwards?
Apples? Chose you. So you never was not
Never not chose you.
my number one.
Even when you said I wasn't your number one.
Nah, even when I said
You never not my number one, even though he said Kyra's name.
Nothing up until this point kind of matters of what
I love them
we do
together.
on the negative side. his heart was. I'm just secure where I'm at.
You wanna know? Well, what's next?
What's next for what?
Us.
Me and you.
Well, I would like to hear that from you, Joel.
I think we need to continue to see where this thing goes, baby. You feel me?
I do too.
You heard me?
Aw.
It's to the point now, we can try this thing out or what? Because you're the one I want to try it out with.
Aw.
Am I wrong with feeling that way? I don't think so. Now you coming over here? All right.
Aw, they kiss. Aw,
Yeah.
so cute. I love them.
Great, but good.
Thank you.
Liz and
It's not
Jason.
rolling together. I'm excited. The load is off my chest. And I can finally just focus on one person. I'm feeling at ease. And I'm just happy, man. She's dope. New day, new beginning.
I know, and I can't quit grinning from ear to ear.
I'm just glad that I made that decision.
Mm.
I appreciate you throughout all of this. You know, you've been very transparent with me, consistent, fine as hell.
Being on this date with Jason feels like a dream. But when we were at the ladies' lounge, I was very much irritated with Kyra because she discounted Jason and I's connection. So I'm just a little bit confused at this point. So I'm gonna throw a curveball at you.
Okay. Been getting that a lot.
Liz, 40 CEO, Jason, 36
In that
teacher.
conversation that you had with Kyra at the ranch, what if she would have told you
She chose
that
you.
she picked you? What would you have done?
You and me would still be sitting here.
He said he still would have picked Liz
Because my
even if
mind
Kyra
was already
said
made up.
yes. Because his mind was made up. I do not believe it. 100% don't believe it.
And one of the things that I asked her was, at this point, I just need to know what your direction is. Whether it's this person, this guy, that guy. There's been enough dates with everybody
Yeah.
that
I don't believe him.
should be able to make a decision by now. This whole time, she never really gave me any direction.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was disingenuous. And so that speaks volumes to me. That's what it is.
Mine already made up.
Yeah, it don't take long.
You don't take long.
Hold that back. Let me grab some real quick.
Okay. Okay. Jason leaves the table, and I'm like, what's happening?
Oh, he bought her flowers.
So, this is for you, but hold on real quick. I have a story behind this. I've only gave
Single
out 2 roses
white
my whole life.
rose.
White roses. So, the first one I gave to my mother. The second one I gave to my stepmother. I'm gonna give you this white rose, and I'm being serious right now. And this is why I chose you as well. Is because throughout this entire process, you have kept it pure, honest, and your resilience. And white represents purity. And you are a pure hearted woman. So I'll be honored if you accept this from me. Because you are worth it, you're worth my time, and you are worth the pursuit. Would you accept this from me?
So Liz is crying at this point. Okay, so that was super cute. And I think he is genuine. I think he had a genuine connection with Liz and with Kyra. I think he would have chose Kyra if she wanted him to. I don't believe 100% that his mind was made up and he wouldn't have chose her if she picked him in that moment. But I do think he did have a genuine connection with Liz too. So he goes out to his car or goes to wherever he just hid it and brings back a single white rose. He said he's only given out 2 single white roses in his entire life. One to his mother, one to his stepmother. And he wanted to give his third one to Liz. And it's part of the reason why he chose her. White means purity. She's pure of heart, pure of spirit. She's resilient. All these great things. She's tearing up. And like Jason sees her spirit. So, I mean, I keep saying I don't see it. I guess a tinge, I can see it just a little bit more. I will be curious to see if they are still together post at the reunion. But for now, he's chose her. He's made his decision. He's trying to, take this thing as far as it can go. So I guess we will see.
Those tears let me know this was real for her. And it just excited me even more. Like, I like me some Liz, I ain't gonna lie. Let's do some love. All right.
I'm so happy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I could see a little bit more
My
Liz and
prayer
Jason.
for this journey was that, God, I want to find has someone that sees me, that sees my heart. And when he did that, it showed me that he saw my heart. And that meant a lot to me.
So Liz is saying that her prayer coming into this entire journey was to have somebody that sees her heart. And when he said that, like, this is a rose, it represents purity. I see that you have a pure spirit, a pure heart, and, you know, you're resilient and all that stuff. She said that just spoke volume, like, he really does see my heart. So I do get it. I see why she's emotional. And who knows, maybe Jason and Liz can go the long haul. Who knows? But what I will say is Kyra is not finished. She said she got unfinished business. So let's see what Jason says when Kyra comes to talk to him. Because in his mind, he probably thought Kyra was going home, so he didn't have to talk to her anymore in the show. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I don't know if he knows that Kyra is still around. Amber and Chris, their final date.
I'm good. How are you? Sparkling eyes. I haven't seen Amber since we had left the ranch, and so I'm excited to see her looking like the goddess that she is. Cheers. Good to see you. It's always
Cheers to us.
Yes.
And the future.
And the future. I'm feeling a little apprehensive about how she's feeling, her energy, you know, where she's at with Ron. I mean, all of that. I had a lot of people, come up to me and ask me how I felt, you know, during Truth or Dare, with the whole Ron thing, and you know, going out and then revealing that you kissed him. But just for some confirmation, affirmation, like, what's good? Like, ain't nothing else, I ain't, you know, I ain't dipping, talking on the side, like, ain't no more,
I stopped communication with him. There was nothing there. I felt the need to express to Chris that he literally is it. I can't say this. I don't have any more 2s or 3s.
Neither do I.
I feel like we have something great going on here, and I'm enjoying it. I'm just ready to see where it goes. I realized that there are no other connections, and I wanted him to know that, especially after Ron kiss situation, honey, I had to give him security and reassure him that he still has Amber right there in his heart. I feel like every time we meet, it just solidifies our connection, and I'm happy with that.
You don't know how much that meant to me. My eyeballs are trying to sweat.
No, Chris, don't cry.
You were caring, you were nurturing. I mean, you made me feel so comfortable and secure. It meant so much, and I really appreciate you for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Aww, he's crying. She's hugging
I'm
him.
just feeling it, okay? I'm on the rainbows, the cotton candy, the unicorn. It's all here.
I'm ready to have a baby, or 3. How many do you want? I don't think that. Did I ask you that?
I do like kids.
Me too.
I would be happy with 1. You know, I would like to be married first, so we
We don't have to be married because I'm not even having sex right now. Like,
Ever in life?
I mean, yeah, once I get married and we...
You what?
Amber didn't know he was waiting and celibate until he gets married.
Maybe.
No, I mean, don't count your boy out. Just because, you know, I'm holding off, I'm practicing this semen retention now. I think the main thing, I'm just trying to protect the sexual energy because that is the most important energy that we as humans have. And, like, for me to be giving that away to women who weren't deserving of it, like, I was just like, what was I doing?
Chris, listen here. Amber deserves the energy, okay? I know damn well I didn't find a connection, and you mean to tell me I'm gonna have to wait? Oh, Lord.
Okay, so before we just comment on the last thing that just transpired. Okay, so basically, Chris, he did feel a little bit of a way about the Ron incident. He was playing it cool at the ranch. He said a few people did come up to him afterwards to say, like, how you feel about her kissing Ron? And so he wanted to just get it back out there on the table. Or y'all still in communication secretly, like y'all was secretly kissing at the club? or is that over? She's like, I cut off communication with him. I don't have any more 2s or 3s. She felt like she needs to reassure him, which she did need to reassure him that Ron situation was a one-off and it wasn't going to be continuing to happen. So they basically like, okay, we want to be together. And Chris, cry, give a hug, whatever. So then he just said, I'm ready to have kids like today. How many you want? She's like, well, I mean, he like 2, 3, 4. She like, well, I mean, I'll be okay with 1. But, I want to be married first. And Chris drops the bomb and is like, well, it got to be that way because I'm celibate to marriage. Now, David mentioned that beforehand. Liz mentioned it beforehand. Chris ain't never put that in atmosphere. So Amber's like, well, we're scared. Flag on the play. What is going on? She's like, I deserve the energy. He like, ain't no point in me giving it out to people who are undeserving. She like, I deserve the energy. Don't tell me how to find a whole connection. Now I got to wait. Freaking hilarious. I love how they flipped it. And it's like the woman instead of the man feeling that way. It's just hilarious to me.
Wow, that'll be the time to get knocked up because there's going to be trillions of them suckers swimming. I mean, you might end up with triplets, quadruplets, or something.
Jeez Louise.
Backed up.
Well, I'm going to bring it out. You'll see how hard it is for you to resist this.
Ooh, it's been hard because I'm still a man. I'm still a human. I'll be looking at your booty all the time. Like,
if he looks at my butt and looks at me all the time, I mean, I'm sure it won't take much for him to not want to practice semen retention anymore.
So now she on a mission to get him to break his covenant and his celibacy vow.
All right, well, let's go test and see.
Let's go test and see.
And she is on the date. She looking cute as usual. AJ.
I like AJ a lot. We've always had a connection throughout this journey, but in the past, when I went on dates with AJ, all of my eggs were really in the basket of Jason. I didn't really give him a fair shake. So now I'm still trying to know for sure if AJ is the person I can commit to.
Well, this is lovely.
Little charcuterie.
Charcuterie. I don't know how they say it, but whatever the case, it's lovely.
Well, I figured we'd do something a little bit more chill after that last date that we had there.
I appreciate that.
It's the first time I'm seeing her again from the ranch.
AJ's a 38-year-old music producer, and I think they said engineer at some point. They're changing it up.
And I'm open to the possibilities of what can take place with
And Kyra's an attorney.
Now that we went to the ranch, we don't had the time to be out and around everyone. What are we gonna do now?
My intention is for us to move forward. I'm in a good place.
You in a good place?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
How do you feel about it? I kind of just want to know where do we stand now?
Where do we stand now? Look, if you gotta ask that still, then I don't know what to tell you.
I
you home now around this.
Not the right word. Not the right word.
I'm just saying, I don't have any options or opportunity to split my time anymore. So you're about to catch all of the heat.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to Kyra,
she about to
I always
catch all
feel
the heat.
I've been admiring her from afar. We dated in the past, so to have this opportunity to have a second chance, I want to take it. And I think that played a lot into my decision of keeping her here because I'm not willing and ready to just take that L when it comes to her and I just yet.
So do you feel like you made the right decision?
Sometimes it's not about whether or not you felt like you made the right decision in the moment. Which decision do you feel like you regret the most?
And it would have been sending you home.
If you look.
So she said, do you feel like you made the right decision? He said, sometimes it's not about feeling like you made the right decision in the moment, but which decision would you have regretted the most? And I think he would have regretted sending Kyra home the most.
Back and you say, man, I should have did this, or what if that, and you had to actually ask yourself that.
Yeah.
That's probably the direction that you should go in. even if it's the one that doesn't necessarily give you the brightest light at the end of the tunnel.
I haven't thought about it like that before.
AJ is showing me the man that he is. Cheers to us moving forward and what the future holds ahead.
I can toast to that.
But I'm still having some reservations on the connection that I had with Jason. I need to talk to him and hear where he's coming from, where it went wrong. I am hoping that I can get some clarity.
So while Kyra's on the date with AJ, she needs clarity from Jason. So even in that conversation that AJ and Kyra just had, I think she is taking to heart what he said. She's on the date with him and she's saying, I still need to see where it went wrong and I need to talk to Jason and have clarity. That means what she regrets is not picking Jason because her connection with him was so strong and that was really her number one the whole time. He couldn't wait around for her to pick him. So she still needs to explore that, which means AJ is not who she wants to be with, but he was her saving grace to keep her around so that she can have that conversation with Jason. So now I really feel bad for AJ because he didn't let Alexis go when she was team AJ, hands down. And now he didn't wasted his save on Kyra, who is still thinking about Jason. So I think she regrets not telling Jason in that moment that she chose him because she didn't think he was really going to just choose Liz and leave her out in the lurch. Ooh, child, it's a lot. Okay, all the ladies again.
We're here.
With Tommy, I think this is their week to choose since AJ was the determining factor last week.
I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen. In
But
this
so I don't know. It's only supposed to be 3 couples at the end, so somebody gotta
So
go.
I'm trying to figure out who's going home.
Let's cut to the romance. I want to hear all about your dates this week. Amber?
Oh, Lord. Chris and I.
Kyra and AJ probably gotta
It
leave.
was more intimate, and, you know, he actually cried, just
You cried?
expressing himself about me and how he just feels like, you know, this was just a
He
great.
cried. Do his voice still be sexy? Oh my God. Right now. I can't believe you cried. We're going to slow it down a little bit as my tears begin to flow.
I did hear something in the date that I don't know how I feel about. So he is going through semen retention.
Semen retention. So how you
Basically
retent?
celibacy. We talked about a little bit of it, but I didn't know like he was applying it.
What you call it again?
He calls it semen retention.
Semen
But it's
retention.
basically celibacy.
That's new to me.
So I was like, I respect your decision, don't get me wrong. But, you know, that's something that's going to be hard for me if you send went to marriage. Because we've been married 2 years. I mean, now, come on now. Retention, nothing. I don't know.
Amber not feeling the celibacy / semen
I'm
retention.
not going to be praying for his retention. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Miss Bernicia, how'd you date this week?
We did talk about the ranch.
Joelle and
A
Bernicia.
little blow up we had.
It'll blow up, but what we did realize is that we can overcome anything.
That's good.
Miss Lee?
We can overcome someday.
He made his decision a couple of weeks ago of what he wanted to do based on some of our conversations.
Kyra
that we
looking
had.
crazy.
So he said that when Kyra laughed, it was disrespectful, but that just shows what's going on inside of her. It has nothing to do with me. After we had our conversation, Jason gave me a single white rose. He says that I'm only given 2 other women in my life a single white rose. My mother and my stepmom. He said, you are pure, and that's what this rose means. He says, you're a good woman, and I see you, I see your heart, and that's why I chose you. It just meant a lot to me.
This is beautiful.
No shade towards Liz, but what she said was that comical to me. Celibacy until she's married is something that is very important to her. My conversations with Jason, they didn't involve celibacy. This does not make sense. The reason why I chuckled to myself was not that I'll be offensive. I felt like the position was put on me as if I was playing the game, and some of the stuff you're saying, I'm just like, that's ironic because it seems like he was playing the game. Not saying with you, but maybe with me. Because to say that the decision was made a couple weeks ago, that's not what was conveyed to me.
Mm-hmm. And if your decision changed so long ago, then why were you still pressing me to make a decision? I feel like if you've made your decision, then what I decide doesn't impact you.
Does that make sense to you as well, Liz?
From what he shared with me is that he needed to hear from Kyra herself where she stood, because he felt that there was some things that happened between their relationship that was disingenuous. And just like she said, she felt the same thing, or what have you.
I didn't feel like I'm feeling like it's disingenuous now. Not trying to be funny, but I look at it like, okay, her other option is gone, so you're not pressing her. The fact that I do have someone, you want to force me to make a decision that I'm not ready to make, and that to me is a sign of someone that you will mishandle me in real life.
Wow. It seems like you and Jason got some more to talk about. I think you deserve answers. But let's switch over. Let's talk about AJ.
Okay, before we get on AJ, so Liz is telling all about her date and how lovely it was and how Jason told her he actually made up his mind a few weeks ago. Now, a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, what have you. I don't know if he actually said that unless they cut and spliced this situation on the date, because all he said is, I had already made up my mind. That could have been that day, like the day that he was asked the question, not 2-3 weeks ago. And I don't know if Liz is putting on or he actually went on and said that. But he did say he had made up his mind that day. So if Kyra would have said him, he wouldn't have chosen her. I don't believe that 100%. I do not believe that. I think he would have picked her. That's why he was keep pressing her. Like, Kyra chuckled to herself and Liz is up here like, well, that's rude. And, you know, Kyra comes back and says, you know what? I wasn't trying to be rude to you, but I think it's funny because he did all this. And I thought he was genuine. I thought we had a genuine connection. But 3 weeks ago, he was still pressing me. If he had made up his decision, why does me making a decision impacts you any? You don't need to hear that from me because you've already decided on Liz. You could have told me that 3 weeks ago, which is why I believe that's a whole lot of hoopla too, because he would have told her. Like, you would have just moved on with Liz and that would have been the end of it. And then the whole thing about purity and all this stuff, and she knows that it's, you know, it's nice that Liz is saving herself for marriage, but she's like, our conversations, me and Jason, it didn't seem like that's the tip he was on. Honestly, I don't think they sound like that to be the tip he be on with Liz either, here and there, because he always talking about her body and wanting to kiss her and make out and all this stuff. So maybe he can last, I don't know, until they get married. But what Kyra is saying is he wasn't thinking about celibacy when he was talking to her. So she needs some answers, and Tommy said you need to get some answers. But now we finna talk about her date with AJ, which at this point I feel like we may as well not even talk about it. But let's see.
We did go on a date, and for him to respect my decision-making process spoke volumes to the type of man and the support that he would give me in a relationship beyond this journey.
So what are we saying, Carl? If the process ended today, who would you lead with?
AJ, I'm rocking with AJ.
She said she'll rock with AJ 100% if it ended today. She
we
sounded hesitant. I don't believe that now. Yeah.
One man.
But I think she should, because Jason did not choose you. So here we go with the whole Alexis Fly thing again. Choose who choose you.
It seems like they got real potential.
Okay.
So why would I step in and mess it up? Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
So I think he gonna let it be
We
four
got four final
couples.
couples going into
Four
the last
final
week.
instead of
That's
just
not
the three.
supposed
That's
to
what's
be.
up.
Oh, okay. Joel, and I made it all the way to the end. I'm feeling relieved, ecstatic, overwhelmed.
You know, you've made your selection amongst the guys. But the last step in this process is a two-way commitment. Here go the curve.
So they gotta commit to each other.
Both of you all have to decide to move forward as a committed couple.
Committed couple. Like, we are together. You my boyfriend, you my girl.
And the gentleman. This is
Okay.
one last time before you make your very, very, very last decision. Y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Peace.
This is exciting for the four of them.
Because I do not feel like Jason was fair towards me.
Since you are still bothered by it, are you really choosing AJ because you?
No, I'm choosing AJ because I feel like Jason, like you said, I was the one playing the game. But based on our conversations and how it rolls out to me, it's like, well, were you the one playing the game?
I was very much irritated with Kyra because she tried to attack Jason's character.
Oh no,
Always
Liz
known that man
thinks
to be
she's
upfront and honest. So the
attacking
things that she
Jason's
was
character.
saying, I choose to pick my battles, and I'm not gonna stoop down to her level.
We will see.
Okay, guys, so basically Kyra is still here once Tommy has gotten up and left, talking to the ladies like, I'm a little bit irritated because I feel like Jason was playing a game. They kept making it seem like I was the one playing the game. And she's like, if he was going this hard for me this entire time, then how did 3 weeks ago he say he was Team Liz? And if he was talking to me about all his, I guess, maybe possibly sexual desires, I'm not sure because I wasn't a part of them conversations. How is he now choosing somebody who want to be waiting to marriage? Like she just said, it sounded like he was telling both of us what we wanted to hear. And now she got an attitude because Amber asked, like, so are you only saying AJ because, you know, Jason picked Liz or any of this stuff? And she's like, no, I feel like he would actually protect and look out for my heart. And I'm not really upset with Jason because he didn't choose me, but because I think he was playing me this whole time or playing a game. So that's why she wanted to talk to him supposedly, and not because she thinks she wants to get back with him. She just needs to talk to him like, really, this is where you coming from? This is the things you're saying. You're saying I'm disingenuous, where it seems like you are the one who in all actuality is the one who's disingenuous. So I don't know how this conversation is going to go. But I guess we're going to see. But, you know, she an attorney, honey, so she finna turn up on him. She going to be asking all the questions. And she's very good at communicating, too, which apparently he didn't do. Because why not just come to her and say, you know, I chose Liz. I just want you to know that I'm probably going to go with Liz. On that last day, he could have said that, but I think he was still waiting around for her to come back around and be like, I chose you. Jason. Kyra, meeting Jason.
I'm good.
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 I wonder if he knew it was going to be her.
Which I'm confused.
He said he's confused
I feel
because
like everything that needed to be said was said. What I don't want to do is renege. I made my mind up. I don't see the relevance in it.
He said he don't see the relevance in this meeting.
You kind of
But he gonna come on and talk to
clarity
him.
and everything.
I just want to check in with you.
Okay.
I feel like we're due another conversation.
Okay.
I am taking Tommy's advice to have a conversation with Jason because I'm very frustrated and my disappointment in Jason is now turning into anger towards him. So the conversation that we had today at Ladies Lounge was quite interesting because when Liz was talking, she was saying that when you guys have talked, you told her that you made your decision weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you made your decision weeks ago, then why wouldn't you tell me that? Because that's not what you were telling me.
Honestly, so much was said. I'm gonna be honest with you, Queen. I can't remember. I'm not saying nay or yay. I'm just saying so much. However, I did tell her recently that I had my mind made up weeks ago. Not really. So that's on me. I'm sorry.
You a liar.
For you.
He is such a liar. Thompson, well, so much was said. I don't really know, Queen, which way it was. Because Kyra was saying you told her weeks ago, if that was the case, you told her you made your decision weeks ago. Why did you still, that wasn't what you were telling me. Why did you keep stringing me along? But he's like, yeah, you know, I did tell Liz recently that I had my mind made up. But, you know, that probably wasn't really accurate. So you lied to Liz. Because you chose her and you want her to be confident that you didn't choose her because Kyra didn't choose you. You want her to think you chose her because you chose her. That's what that is. It's manipulation.
And at the tennis court, I needed clarity. You know what you really feel right now. So I'm asking you, what is it? And still to this day, I don't really know where you at. Kyra does a very poor job at telling people how she feels. But at this point, I'm rolling with the punches. I made my decision. I feel very good with Liz. The connection's there, and it is what it is. One of the things that I'm noticing is, like, even the last several times that we're linked up, it's been more, I don't want to use the word interrogating, but it's been more so of trying to find answers, trying to talk about this, trying to talk about that instead of focusing on the moment.
I didn't see it as an interrogation. We do have a lot of questions back and forth about each other. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know, well, what are your what ifs about me as a person? So to say it became an interrogation.
Like, even right now, this is the prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure out what the direction of this whole thing is right now, because it feels like more so of, it's not a date, it's not Jason still trying to get to know you.
It's not, because you've picked Liz.
It's just directness but it makes me feel like, damn, like, what am I doing that is so bad? And did my God on his best to be very direct with you. At this point, I was doing it because I made my decision. Let's just move forward in a positive way, because what I don't want to happen is we're tearing each other down, because I still think highly of you. What is it that you're trying to tell me?
I wanted you to be like, Kyrie, it's about your decision for you, not about your decision for Jason and Jason's timing. And what I found out was that you were saying that, but you was also checking out.
We're not gonna do this.
I'm being very honest.
I know, but we're not gonna do this. Sometimes she would try to veer off and make another complaint. I'll shut that down. I'm like, no, queen. What is it that you want, Kyra? What do you want?
If I had related differently and you would have gotten it when you were asking me for a decision, do you feel like the outcome would have been different?
No. I still think it'd be the same, because I really genuinely feel confident in Liz.
Okay.
So she got her answer. Basically, he like, okay, we're gonna go round and round. You gonna turn me down, all this stuff. I think we done with this conversation. Let's just move forward. That's basically what he wants to say. So he's like, why are you here? Why are you here? She's like, I need clarity. I want to know. So basically, she just asked the real question instead of shoo-shooing around and asking about each and every opportunity they had, every talk they had. And she just said, if I would have given you the decision when you needed it, do you think that this would have been different? And he said, no, I'm confident in my decision with Liz. Kyra, leave it alone. I feel like she should have left it alone. Anyway, she could have asked him this on a reunion show.
On how things have gone thus far, my decision is for us to stay as friends.
Thank you. Feel better?
No.
Why?
Because I hate that we got to this situation. I hate that there was the discourse between you and I that allowed space for somebody else. I thought that Jason would be the one who would handle me right and handle my heart with care. And I always questioned if AJ would be able to. And in this moment, I'm realizing that Jason is the one that I should have been questioning. I feel like I was nothing but 100% with you.
I didn't feel that way at that time.
If I feel like you didn't receive it that way, that's fine. We'll talk about it now. And so I just have to kind of brush that as water under the bridge. You know, I'm disappointed in it, and that's his decision, so I have to accept it. But it hurts. It hurts a little bit. Something's just not meant to be.
I think she would have picked Jason in the end. I think she would have, because she was still concerned about AJ. But now I wonder how AJ is going to feel after hearing that she went and had a conversation with Jason when she had already picked him supposedly and all that stuff. So I guess I get where she's coming from. It's like, dang, was that just very not sincere? Because I thought one way of you and how you're communicating this to someone else is you're making it seem like, you know, we weren't on the page that I thought we were on. I get it. People want clarity. We want answers. We don't always need them. Once somebody has made their decision, just let it be. I've been there, done that. I'm sure you guys have. It's all the couples. Sugar,
After final dinner, it was really good to see everybody together. You know, Joelle and Bernicia, it seems like they're married already. Mm-hmm. Chris and Amber, they match each other uniqueness. Kyra and AJ, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. Hopefully they'll work out and, you know, they'll have a beautiful journey together. And of course, me and Jason, that's my boo.
I gotcha. Got him.
Really? You really took my shrimp like that? You know I like shrimp. Really?
Tastes so good.
Okay.
It's the way you do
it. It tastes so good.
When I saw Jason and Liz, I honestly wasn't expecting to feel any kind of way, but this dude really got under my skin. However, I like AJ a whole lot. So I'm focused on him wholeheartedly, but I'm still having some reservations on, okay, Kyra, you like him, but do you know him enough to say, yes, AJ, in this moment right now, I am ready to make a commitment to you.
I think Kyra not picking AJ. She got too many concerns. Too many concerns.
Y'all looking good.
Thank you. You too.
See? So it's a beautiful thing to see love settling in, because it's been a long time coming.
Yes,
We started this process with 20 singles, 10 men and 10 women. All of you shared one common goal. What was that? Finding love. Look at all four of you are. You're on top. You're on top, baby. Give yourselves a round of applause.
AJ and Kyra actually look really good together. All the couples make attractive couples.
I don't think any relationship is truly legitimized. Can you take one very important step? Meeting each other's families. Yes. Ladies, if you have not met a black man's mama, you probably have not been in a relationship.
That's true.
He got to take you home.
Yeah.
It's not the real thing until Big Mama give you a hug and share her macaroni
Curve
and cheese recipe.
freaking ball.
All seriousness, meeting your partner's family is a huge step towards your relationship. Your families look at your potential mate with fresh eyes and pure intentions.
Just when I thought that this was the end of the road, Tommy tells us we have to meet the family. It's a little bit too early for that. For me, I know how this can go off the rails if either one of us mess this up.
I wish you all well.
See, AJ is saying, I think this is too soon for us because really him and Kyra just decided to focus on one another. The other couples have been focused on each other the entire time, or at least one party is safe, for instance, Liz and Jason. So now he's concerned. Amber's super nervous.
Okay, I am a handful. Just imagine my family.
Wait till you meet your mom.
You gonna see a female version of me?
Liz and Jason, they excited.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. My mom is very important to me. I cannot see myself saying completely yes if my mom said, I need this. My family, like, they know me better than anybody else, so I'm really hoping that they can help me make
Kyra saying, I can't really see myself saying yes to my mom
I
saying
can really
no.
only get through this with their support and with their guidance.
So basically what you're telling me is the mom gotta give the thumbs up.
She does.
Okay, guys, so that is it. They are getting ready to show next week's sneak peek, and I am going to watch that. But I want to thank you guys for watching with me. We are down to 4 couples. We have AJ and Kyra, and I think they are the weakest couple so far. We have Liz and Jason. Jason says, look, Kyra, I made my decision. I'm sticking by it. He didn't falter. He didn't turn back. He didn't change his mind. So they are a couple. Then we have Amber and Chris. They've gotten over the hump of the Ron secret kiss with Amber. And so they are rocking with one another. But Amber is still concerned about his semen retention / celibacy. And then there is fourthly, my top couple, my number 1 couple from forever, Bernicia and Joelle. I love them together. I think they're going to make it work. Hopefully next week their families feel the same way. But we are at the end of the road. It is the season finale next week, followed by the reunion. So you guys gonna stick around and see 2 more out of me. Definitely, if you have not seen them, go back and watch them all so you guys can be caught up. I give a good rundown. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm also currently doing The Bachelorette season 17, so check that out as well. And yes, stay tuned for more content. If you like anything about success, entrepreneurship, pop culture, lifestyle, travel, all that good stuff, then definitely subscribe to this channel. You do not want to miss out. Hit that notification bell so that you can always be notified when I post. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.